Legal blunder, Falana attacks Buhari's spokesman. Femi Falana has said that the presidency is not operating under the rule of law, regarding the continued detention of Shi'ite leader, Ibraheem El-Zakzaky. In a statement on Wednesday, May 24, Falana said it was the first time in Nigeria's history that a democratically elected government would openly justify a citizen's detention in defiance of a valid court order. According to Falana, even under the neo-Tartsanist Buhari, the Dagban military junta, court orders which directed that victims of the obnoxious detention of persons Decree No. 2 of 1984 be released from illegal custody were complied with, said Mr. Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria. But under a democratic government, Mr. Shah wants Nigerians to believe that El-Zakzakys are held in protective custody after the Federal High Court had declared such detention illegal and unconstitutional. Or has Mr. Shah suddenly become so power-drunk to the extent that he can conveniently set aside the judgments of the Federal High Court? Falana says the presidency is not operating under the rule of law as regards the cases of Dasuki and El-Zakzaky. The Shi'ite massacre. Mr. El-Zakzaky, the leader of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, and his wife, Zinat, have been in detention since December 2015. Following the killing of members of his Shiite sect by soldiers in Kaduna. More than 300 members of the sect and one soldier died in the violence which began after the sect members allegedly blocked the passage of the convoy of the Chief of Army Staff, Tukur Buratai. Mr. El-Zakzaky has remained in the custody of the government despite several court rulings ordering his release. Garba's blunder. On Tuesday, Garba Shehu, the senior special assistant to the president, said the Shiite leader was still in protective custody for his own safety. El-Zakzaky is held for his own good, Shehu had told State House correspondents. If you set him free, what do you think will happen on the streets? He is not in a typical prison condition. He has the company of his wife and children. They can leave if they want. There is overall public good weighing against his release. Mr. Falana said Mr. Shah's statement was a sharp departure from the presidency's earlier claims that Mr. El-Zakzaky constituted a threat to national security. Is Mr. Shah not aware that El-Zakzaky has lost one of his eyes in the dungeon of the State Security Service and may lose the other eye due to denial of urgent medical treatment? Mr. Falana continued. Why has his request to travel abroad for medical attention at his own expense been refused by the federal government? Free El-Zakzaky. Mr. Falana called for the immediate and unconstitutional release of El-Zakzaky, as well as Sambo Dasuki, the former national security advisor who is also in the government's custody despite several court rulings granting him bail. Since neither President Muhammadu Buhari nor acting President Yemi Osinbajo could have authorized the contemptuous statement issued on behalf of the presidency, Mr. Garba should be called to order and restrained from further exposing the Federal Republic of Nigeria to ridicule before the Committee of Civilized Nations, said Mr. Falana. However, since the federal government continues to proclaim loudly that it operates under the rule of law, it cannot be operated to treat court orders with disdain. To that extent, El-Zakzaky and his wife must be released from the illegal custody of the State Security Service since the Federal High Court has dismissed the official claim that they are held in protective custody. A government which is desirous to secure a conviction of persons charged with criminal offenses cannot treat the orders of the same court with disdain and impunity. Below is a video in which Nigerians react to rumors regarding a military takeover in Nigeria.